Alright class, so today we're going to go over some additional examples of lesson 10, which is comparing linear functions. So we're going to go right into some examples, looking at the very first one. It says Paige and Cindy has been saving money. Paige started with $350 in her savings and deposited $25 into her savings each week. Cindy is represented by the equation T equals 190 plus 40W, where T is the total savings and W is the number of weeks. And how many weeks will Cindy have more money in her savings than Paige? Okay, so when we look at this question, just going based off the information, we need to know the equation for Paige. And we also need to know the equation for Cindy. Now, based off what they gave us in the paragraph, they told us what Cindy's equation was. So we don't have to find it. So we can just go ahead and write it down so we can have it. Now we have to find it based off the statement for Paige. It says that she had $350 in her savings, but saves $25 each week. Okay, so we know that the word each is a change for us. So 25 is going to carry the X. So anytime you see the word each, it attaches with our X because they're similar. So we got 25X plus 350. Okay, so we have both equations. Now the question said, in how many weeks will Cindy have more money than Paige? So because of that, we're going to set up a table, and we're going to use our answer choices to kind of help us set up the table that we have. So we're going to have one column that says weeks. The other column is going to be Paige. And the last one is going to be Cindy. Okay. Now the weeks are going to come from my answer choices, so we're looking at week 10, 11, 12, and 13. Okay, so to start us off, what we're going to do is we're going to use our equations to help us get week 10. Okay, so what I mean by that is this. So if Paige has an equation, so we're going to do 25 times 10 plus 350. So 25 times 10 is going to give me 250. 250 plus 350 is going to give me 600. So for week 10, Paige saves $600. Okay, now we're going to do the exact same thing for Cindy. For Cindy, she had 190 plus 40 times 10. 40 times 10 is going to give me 400. And then we're going to bring down our 190, add those together, that's going to give me 590. So just starting off on week 10, we can see that Cindy is 590, Paige is 600. Now we need to know when Cindy starts making more. Now to get the rest of them, we're going to use our slope. Remember, I told you slope helps us change. So we're going to do Paige and then we're going to do Cindy next. So our slope was 25. So basically what I'm going to do is do 600 plus 25. That's going to give me 625. Then I do 625 plus another 25. That's going to give me 650. And then 650 plus 25 is going to give me 675. Okay, so that's how much Paige saved for the month, for week 10, 11, 12, and 13. Now let's find out with Cindy. Same thing, we're going to use our slope. Cindy's slope is 40. So if we do 590 plus 40, we're going to get 630. Okay, so since we got that one, let's compare it to Paige. Remember, we're looking for when Cindy makes the most. So Cindy made 630, Paige made 625 in week 11. Cindy made more, so that's what we're looking for. So at week 11, that's when Cindy made more than Paige. So our answer for this one will be B. Okay, so making sure that we understood, making sure that we got our equations. Once we get our equations, we go ahead and find our first week based off our answer choices, and then we'll compare as we go and fill in our table to make sure we get the one that they're asking for. Okay, so that's how we solve this equation. All right, looking at our next example, it says that the Mermaid Swimming Club uses the equation W equals 25H plus 40 to calculate the total cost W for H hours of swimming lessons. It says the Dolphin Swimming Club uses the table below to calculate the cost of swimming lessons for its customers. For 7 hours of swimming lessons, what club is least expensive or less expensive, and by how much? So for this one, similar, we're going to find the equations for both the Mermaid and the Dolphin. Now the Mermaid is given, okay, so all we got to do is write that one down. So for Mermaid, they gave us an equation of y equals 25x plus 40. Now you can see in mine, I just changed the W and H to X and Y because that's what we're familiar with, okay? Now for the Dolphin, they didn't give us the equation, but they gave us a table. And we can use writing equations from 2 points to help us with that. So we're going to pick the first 2 points out of the table, which is 2 and 4 and 110 and 155. And then we're going to find our slope. So from 2 to 4, there was an increase of 2. And from 110 to 155, that was an increase of 45. So that means my slope is going to be 45 over 2, but simplified, it becomes 2250 over 1, or just 2250. Okay, then we got to plug it into y equals mx plus b. So using our very first point, my y is 110, my slope is 2250, my x is going to be 2 plus b. 2250 times 2 is going to give me 45. I can bring 110 down. Now we got to move 45 to the other side. That's going to be subtract. So 110 minus 45 is going to give me 65. And that's my B. Okay, so my equation for Dolphin is going to be y equals 2250 x plus 65. Now if we go back and look at the question, it says for 7 hours of swimming lessons. So when it says a specific number, we got to go back and plug it into our equations and then see what the differences are. So for Mermaid, if we go plug it in, we're going to have 25 times 7 plus 40. Okay, so when we do 25 times 7 plus 40, we get 215. And then for the Dolphin, we have 2250 times 7 plus 65. When we plug that in, we get $222.50. So we're looking at which one actually is cheaper, is the least expensive. So right now, looking at it, the least expensive is going to be Mermaid, but they want to know how much by. Okay, so that means we're going to take the $222.50 and subtract the $215 from it. And when we subtract that, we end up with $7.50. So the Mermaid is $7.50 cheaper than the Dolphin Swim Club. And the answer choice we have for that one is answer choice D. Okay.